So, hello everyone. Sibongiseni Dlamini here. The founder and chief analyst of Interpac Asset Management. So, just wanted to do another video explaining in detail the different type of NASDAQ indices they are. Because like some people confuse this thing and don't know which NASDAQ index to select on their trading platform. So, let's get into it. So, talking about the NASDAQ Exchange, ne? Okay, talking about the NASDAQ Exchange, ne? So the NASDAQ is a global electronic marketplace where you can buy or sell securities. It also stands as a benchmark index for US technology stocks. So the term NASDAQ is also a reference for the NASDAQ Composite itself. So the exchange was founded in 1971 by the National Associations of Securities Dealers. So NASDAQ, the acronym stands for the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated quotations. Okay, right? So moving forward, so the first index that I want to talk about here today is the NASDAQ Composite itself. So the NASDAQ Composite is the actual main index of the NASDAQ exchange. So it was created when the stock exchange was established in 1971. So today it's consisting of 3,000 plus companies that are listed on the exchange itself. So this one is the NASDAQ Composite, and then there is the NASDAQ 100. So this one, the NASDAQ 100, is in essence contains the 100 non-financial companies that are mostly actively traded and listed on the NASDAQ exchange. So this one has non-financials. The 100 non-financials companies listed on the NASDAQ exchange. So when you're talking about non-financials, we are not talking about banks or fintech stocks here. We are mainly talking about technology companies, pharmaceutical companies, even some retailers are also listed there on the NASDAQ exchange. So there's another one that is called the Invesco Trust QQQ. So this one, some others say it's a power share ETF. This one is an exchange traded fund, you know? So its ticker code it's QQQ. So this one is a NASDAQ ETF, né? Also, it is traded through the PowerShare QQQ Trust. So this one was formulated to track the performance of the 100 largest listed companies of the NASDAQ exchange. So similar to the NASDAQ 100, this one also tracks the 100 largest companies on the exchange. So this one is an ETF, né? So there's another one that was introduced this year early, which is called the FANG Index. So the FANG Index, basically we are talking about Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google here. So the FANG Index was created earlier this year to track these 5 companies alone, because like they are the largest 5 companies in the New York Stock Exchange, and also they are the largest technology companies by name, and they are popular. Everybody almost has these stocks in their portfolios. So I also wanted to talk about another index that I talk about mostly when I write some of my analysis. This one is called the FANGMAN Index, né? So the FANGMAN Index is basically Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia. So The FANG index is comprised of these companies, and the total market value of these companies is close to equal 7.8 trillion US dollars. So the market value of this company is bigger than the GDP of Germany, bigger than the Germany's GDP. So that's how big these companies are when they are combined together. And also these companies, they have a huge weighting on the NASDAQ index itself. So when we look at the NASDAQ or at the components of the NASDAQ 100, we see that Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. Apple weigh close to 13%, Microsoft at 10%, Amazon is close to 10% as well, and then Facebook 4%, Google 3%, Nvidia 2.6%. So as you can see, like all these companies combined, if you can add Tesla here as well, Tesla weighs 4.3% in recent times. So it has become a large tech company itself. So if these companies combined, when they move in the same direction, if 3 or 4 of these companies move in the same direction, it's most likely that then the index will be dragged along the direction of these companies are moving. If 3 or 4 of these companies are negative for the day, it's most likely that it will be a negative session because of the high and huge weighting they have on the NASDAQ 100 index itself. So it is very important to know which index you are trading and you are talking about. So we are just gonna jump into the trading times here. So the NASDAQ stock market session in the Eastern times it opens around 9:30 regular trading hours. It's 9:30 when the market opens in New York, and then it closes at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So, and then from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at night, that's where the aftermarket happens. That's where like earnings are mostly announced, because like they cannot announce earnings during market hours because some of these companies are too huge. They have a huge impact on the market, so they cannot announce like Apple earnings during market hours because it will have a very significant impact on the market itself. So if you are here in South Africa or the United Kingdom or Europe, so the regular trading hours of these indices, it's from 3:30 in the afternoon to 10 p.m. at night. So when I did this presentation, prepared it was around this time, but I'm pretty much aware that times changing due to daylight savings in the US and the UK, but here in South Africa it's mostly at 3:30 till 10 p.m. at night. So when they introduce like that daylight savings, this time changes in South Africa. It becomes 4:30 and then to 11 p.m. at night. So you should be careful which index that you are trading. So just to do a little quick recap here, we spoke about the NASDAQ Composite, right? And then we spoke about the NASDAQ 100. And then we spoke about the ETF, which tracks the 100 largest companies. And then we spoke about the FANG index, which is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. And then we spoke about the FANG index. That the FANG index is Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Nvidia. So these 5 indices, they trade around the New York session when the New York session starts, and they are listed in New York. They are listed in New York on the New York Stock Exchange one, and then also on the NASDAQ Exchange. So they trade usually during New York trading session hours. So it's something that it is very, very important to know which times that these indices trade. Mostly these ones, they trade when the New York session starts, and they are listed in New York. So I want to talk about another important one that people usually trade. So I want us to talk about the NASDAQ 100 futures. Yeah? So now we are talking about the NASDAQ 100 futures. So the NASDAQ 100 futures are financial futures that allow an investor to hedge with or to speculate on the future value of the NASDAQ 100 index. So this one, an investor, they are speculating on the future value of the NASDAQ 100 index. So they are predicting whether the NASDAQ 100 is a future value. Sorry, it's a future time. It will be trading at a certain value. Yes, so it's a future dating time. It will be trading at a certain value. So those contracts, they are listed for a certain period of time, and then they have an expiration date. After that expiration date, a new contract is introduced till it goes on and so forth. So they predicts the future value of the NASDAQ 100. So it tracks the stock price equals to 100 largest companies listed on the NASDAQ Exchange, right? So what is important here, these ones, the futures are traded on the CME Globex system, right? They are traded on the CME Globex system. They are not in New York like the other indices. They are traded at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They are not in New York like the other indices. So that's the difference between this one and the others that we spoke about. So this is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where futures are traded. Even gold futures is traded on this floor. Oil is traded on this floor. Soybeans, maize, a lot of things happen on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Yeah. So the E-mini futures contracts, they trade from Sunday evening throughout Friday afternoon. So they have like this continuous thing, like forex. They open Sunday night, South African time, approximately at midnight, 12 p.m. The futures market opens. NASDAQ futures open. They trade right through till Friday midnight. So this gives us a continuous access of the market. That's what gives the volatility when the market opens at 3:30, because these ones they will be trading throughout the night while the NASDAQ 100 index itself is closed, but the futures will be trading throughout the night. And then when the market opens in New York, you'll start seeing some more action and more volatility happening in the market, because the actual index itself is open. So a lot of people are jumping in to the market itself. So one important thing to know and note, I just explained it just now, but just to put it in more detail, if the E-mini futures contracts trade higher before the opening of the US stock market, it means the NASDAQ cash index will trade higher following the opening bell. Remember that the futures, they predict the future price movement. So if they are already trading higher before the opening bell, before 9:30 in New York, or before 3:30 here in South Africa, it means that the index itself will open at a higher price, because like the futures have already predicted what the market perhaps will do at the opening session when the market opens. Yes. So the symbols for the futures, some brokers they put it in different ways, but the original symbol at the CME exchange, it's NQ_F, or some others they say NQ, others they say NDX. Some retail brokers it's on NASDAQ one, it's NAS 100 or US 100, and some others they call it NAS 100 USD or US Tech 100. So these are the symbols for the NASDAQ futures. So it's important to know which NASDAQ you are trading and talking about. So the E-mini futures, I just explained this. They are traded in the Mercantile Exchange in Chicago. So another important point, a full contract or a standard lot moves at $20 per point. So if you open or buy a full contract for a NASDAQ futures, per 1 point move, it will cost you $20 per point. And for a mini contract, a mini lot, it moves at 1.25 US dollars per point for a mini contract. So it's very important to know these things, because some people really confuse these things, what type of contracts they should open, and also which sizes they should trade, because like you cannot open a big contract on a small account. $20 a point on a 300 US dollar account, you would be gone in no time. But if you open a little smaller lot size, 1.2 US dollars, it's not that much, but in rand value, it is a lot of money, and you can make a lot of money trading small contracts. So risk management is quite important. So there are various trading strategies to trade the NASDAQ, and also what is important is to know which times to trade the NASDAQ futures, and also which time frames are most effective to trading the NASDAQ, because like you can do your top-down analysis, but you also need a time frame where you know where I will execute and put my trade. And then we'll talk about execution, scaling, and position sizing, and mostly risk management. It's important to manage our risk on all this. So all these NASDAQ symbols are available on the TradingView platform. As you can see, this one is the NASDAQ 100 futures, and then let me open the ETF one. The ETF is QQQ. This is the ETF. You see, they are trading in almost the same direction, because they are all tracking the same companies that are listed on the NASDAQ exchange. This is the ETF, the QQQ, and then the NASDAQ Composite itself, it's NDX. Okay, sorry. This is the NASDAQ 100 itself. This is the NASDAQ 100 itself. You see, it's also trading in a similar pattern as the futures. If I could open one company like Apple, it will show us almost the same trend, because like it has like the huge weighting on the index itself. You see, it's moving in the same direction as the index itself. It's moving higher in the same direction like the index itself. Even the candlesticks, they almost look similar to what the index is doing. So it's important to know which index you are trading, but I like to open this one, the NAS 100 USD, because it's what is common on my charts. This one is always open on my chart. I always look at this one. I do my analysis on the NAS 100 USD. So all the other symbols that are there on the on this presentation, you can also track them there on the TradingView platform. And then it's important to know which symbol you have on the brokerage platform, and then that symbol you will trade it at that particular time that it trades at. So you can follow me on social media for more charts and analysis and views. So on TradingView, it's Interpreg Asset Management. And then on Twitter, my business account is Interpreg Assets M. Oh, I forgot to put a T here. Yes, it's Interpreg Assets M. And then my personal Twitter account is Sibo Dlamini. So I hope, guys, this video will be educational and you guys learn. And then you please like my page and subscribe, and then I hope I will do more videos in the future like this and you guys enjoy them. Thank you very much. Goodbye.